Hello everyone, I'm Efthymios Maniatis and this is Jessica Shoemaker, and I will start with the story that I was told by a student of mine that worked on this project, called me from China and working there, and he said, Efthymios, we can go on Google Earth and we can see the planting beds of this farm that we started. So it's a kind of a project that started with an idea of a client who had the desire to create a farm, and we met and we worked together with the designs with my office from Studio UM Design, and then I brought it into UNM and create a design build lab. And I will focus on that because that way we had students working together, creating the final designs and actual models and prefab pieces, where then eventually we built the planting beds and start doing some of the structures. One of them that you saw, the bathroom, already half built, and the other pavilion that you see here was not completed, was not built, although we did do the excavation and we stopped an excavation or completion of that moment. But we have other communities that may want to have it built. So all this started with the idea of Macbees in Alabama, and the Rural Studio, and having the great Brian Bell, he coming here to our school and presenting his work, and all of a sudden we start my work for 12 years that I've been doing pro bono work and helping communities to reach some of their goals. Then I brought it to UNM, and then we start collaborating, and this is where we are today.
I mean, just kind of talking about this from kind of the student perspective, it was something interesting that I think a lot of people talk about and you don't get to see very often, is the idea of collaboration among people from different groups, so architects, landscape architects, artists, things like that. And so as a student who, I'm interested in design, but I'm also interested in building, this was the opportunity to work with people that I didn't know at all, but kind of understanding, learning where they're from, and like working with their ideas, as well as kind of learning the process, like the ideas that we learn in studio about how you form ideas, how you actually take them through the process, but being able to learn that in a way that's actually really hands-on, that you get to meet the client, that you get to go out and work in the community, and you get to meet all the people in the community that are attracted to the same ideas and the same goals that you have. And so this was just very much a learning process that was nice to get outside of the classroom and learn what's really out there.
It's important to me that students of architecture are really actually spending half the time into the field and understanding how actually people have been building over the history. So it's not just, as you can see it right there, it's not easy to dig a ditch, but it takes a lot of design, a lot of commitment, a lot of knowledge and feeling, and that's how people actually learn to connect the knowledge and the practice and come together and to provide a service for a community. So I would love to continue this project with other groups in the community. We have interest in Barelas right now. There's interest in building a bridge, a path bridge over one of the acequias in Corrales. Today I was in Old Town having a meeting and with a group of artists, and they are interested to create a piece of art that moves around the Old Town, that is cohesive, so it shows a neighborhood. So we as designers, architects, landscape architects, planners, everyone has the opportunity to meet people like that. We call them clients, but to create a project that has a meaning for them and for us to provide help for people.
And I think one of the main ideas of the design build class that Efthymios has talked about a lot is the idea that we're maintaining a constant connection with the community. A lot of things come in and want to help, but then things don't work out and people leave. And so the idea of this is is coming in as you've seen a lot of the images Catherine's already shown, but as students being working with someone closely so that you actually get invested in somebody else's project and wanting to see that through, and just the connections that you make and the roles that we establish in like a school and a classroom where the professor is up here teaching and the student is up there listening. Those change when you're digging a ditch, or not a ditch, but when you're digging a foundation with your professors and you're joking and you're learning about them. So I think it's a different community experience. And I think that that's very enriching as a student who doesn't really know what she wants to do with her future, but is learning that along the way. So, and like he said, we did get to present these ideas to the Brailleist community, and so hopefully that's the next image of kind of when things don't work out as a student, you want to kind of have these great ideas of everything's going to work out the way you want it to, but when it doesn't, how do you kind of step back from that and find a way to move forward and keep that passion. So, last slide.
Thank you.